Played by
I heard
Boney.
you and Bad Bunny have heat.
Yeah.
Should I not bring that up?
No.
Everyone missed out on the biggest beef during the Super Bowl, and it wasn't one between Democrats and Republicans and ice and non-ice, or even hip-hop and Latin trap. But Bad Bunny's been involved in drama with both Logan and Jake Paul, which also separated Logan and Jake Paul afterwards. And this is more than just internet beef. It tells the story of what's happening in Puerto Rico since the Logan brothers moved to the island, amongst many other billionaires and high net worth individuals.
I told you that tensions are rising in Puerto Rico, and here's another example. Flyers like these can be found in San Juan, and they read, "This is what our colonizers look like."
And also about the political climate in the U.S. in general.
It was so crazy. I thought he was trolling. Like, I was like, oh, Jake's working towards some fight with somebody. Maybe
I thought
there's
so also. And then if you go to his gram, he's doing a hard shift to the MAGA crowd.
But this all started with a fairly uncontroversial announcement in February of 2021.
I'm moving to Puerto Rico. I was there this past week, kind of scouting it out. I've been fiending for a change in my life, and I think I got that bug bit me that is biting everyone leaving LA, and I finally got it. And
there are plenty of reasons why he made this move. The weather, the scenery, the culture, the tranquility. But there was also a much less romantic reason behind this move.
So I feel like people are wondering why Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Like, how random.
Yeah.
Taxes. It's one vertical.
Yeah.
It's one. It's a big one.
It's 96% of a big one, which ironically is the same amount of money you keep every year if you move to Puerto Rico.
This 96% figure referred to the fact that the tax rate was only 4%. The icing on the cake was that capital gains tax was 0. So if you set up your company in Puerto Rico, none of your dividends went to the IRS. And any gains made on stocks and crypto too were also exempt. And if you recall, 2020 and 2021 were big years for anybody involved in stocks and crypto. The Puerto Rican government did this with the hopes that these wealthy individuals would create jobs and spend money in Puerto Rico, boosting the local economy. Ultimately, this seemed like a no-brainer for Logan, and his brother Jake would soon follow suit, also training in boxing, which was a good hub in Puerto Rico.
Down here, there's no distractions. Puerto Rico has become the best thing possible for me. In this stage of my career, being a boxer and having to train nonstop, because I know that people are coming for me. Eventually, I want to become a world champion.
But while the Logan brothers were starting a new life in Puerto Rico, another side of the story was unfolding. Off the back of the success of his single El Apagón, or The Blackout, Bad Bunny released a documentary with the same name, but with the subtitle Aquí Vive Gente, or People Live Here. This video was made by the independent journalist Bianca Gralau, who broke down how these tax incentives were affecting the everyday Puerto Rican. And instead of benefiting the locals, the documentary argued the exact opposite.
Te están desplazando al boricua nativo de aquí.
Ajá. Con la famosita carta de los 30 días y toma y te tienes que ir.
¿Y ahora para dónde cojo? Y si lo que me cobran allí donde yo puedo no me va a dar con lo que yo me gano.
Lo que pasa es que lo que hay es unos grandes intereses allí.
Y está pasando en Puerto Rico completo.
Y vamos a ser extranjeros en nuestra propia patria.
Tenemos que movernos, dama, porque cuando los de abajo se mueven, los de arriba se caen.
These wealthy individuals who moved across had benefited the local economy, but also increased the cost of living. Between December 2020 and December of 2021, the cost of living on the island rose by a record-breaking 7%, and housing prices went up by 18%. In the documentary, these clips of people being evicted were juxtaposed alongside footage of wealthy people like Logan speaking about moving to Puerto Rico. This story was then highlighted by the YouTuber Philip DeFranco in a video titled, Why Puerto Ricans Hate Logan Paul.
Let's talk about why people are plastering Logan Paul's face up on walls and tons of people demanding he get the hell out of town.
Philly D also shared this post from Bianca.
I told you that tensions are rising in Puerto Rico, and here's another example. Flyers like these can be found in San Juan, and they read, "This is what our colonizers look like." This is written in a major highway in San Juan. And if you've been following my reporting, you know that there is backlash against tax breaks that are inviting wealthy people, mostly from the continental US, to move to Puerto Rico.
Logan Paul has been a much maligned figure on the internet for quite some time, and this was before everyone had come around to accepting his redemption arc. And it made sense for him to be the poster child of what was happening. But this was clearly a level of hate that Logan felt that he needed to address. So he reached out to Philip DeFranco to give his side of the story and made a huge accusation against Bad Bunny. Logan first made the argument that he and his brother Jake have been a positive influence on Puerto Rico.
I recently donated $25K to Talle Salud. It's a grassroots feminist organization that is doing great things in Puerto Rico, and specifically they were also helping with Maria. Jake and I refurbished multiple boxing gyms in Puerto Rico, 50K each, one in La Perla, one currently being refurbished in Dorado, Puerto Rico. Again, boots on the ground, Jake's team and my team helping out separately, giving out aid, giving out relief. And because, this is our home. This is our island. And a lot of the Act 20s do get a bad rep. And I, again, totally get it, because in any industry where there's money to be made, there are going to be vultures. There are going to be bad actors. However, I think that it's easy to point at me and it's easy to point at Jake and label us as the figureheads.
Then Logan name-dropped the Puerto Rican boxer Amanda Serrano. Jake signed her to his boxing company, and it was his promotional work that helped take female boxing to an entirely new level. In 2022, Serrano made history when she fought Katie Taylor in the first ever women's boxing match to headline Madison Square Garden.
We've been here a year and a half. We've renovated 2 boxing gyms. We've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jake put on Amanda Serrano, a local Puerto Rican boxer who was making $10,000 a fight and is now making millions under his promotional company. And she just bought a big house in Puerto Rico.
Then Logan turned his attention to Bad Bunny.
It's tough, man, because I love Bad Bunny, and I think he is an amazing entertainer. I think he's a generational talent. But I do find it hypocritical because Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican living in Puerto Rico who is privately taking advantage of the same tax program that he is publicly condemning.
Is that true?
And I know this. His act is called Two Cientos Caritos, and so does his manager. And I see things like this, and it hurts. And there are local Puerto Ricans who know about this. So I see this music video that has stuck me in the middle of it, that surrounded by context that makes me look like a vulture in Puerto Rico. And again, while I love Bad Bunny, I cannot personally support the hypocritical nature of his exploitation.
Wow.
And like I said, there are more people who know about this, and I heard rumblings that there's a journalist here on the island that's doing a profile, but I just, again, Phil, I'm on this show because I feel like the anti-Logan narrative that is developing on this island is getting a little too much fire for me to completely ignore. There was going to be a point where I had to address it, and I liked to do it on your show.
However, there were some obvious problems with this claim.
It's important to note that Bad Bunny and Logan Paul do not qualify for the same incentives. Bad Bunny has an opportunity for tax incentives as a native Puerto Rican still residing on the island. Still, he is ineligible for the condemned laws only allowed to foreign individuals. Essentially, Bad Bunny, aka Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, was born in Puerto Rico. He was raised in Puerto Rico. He cannot use the tax program.
So it could be the case that Bad Bunny was using tax incentives but didn't qualify for ones being used by the Paul brothers. Ultimately, this beef would continue on in 2023, but through a very different lens. Both Logan and Bad Bunny had gotten into professional wrestling, so Bad Bunny was often name-dropped on his podcast. Here, it looked as if he didn't have any issues with Bad Bunny.
When you see Bad Bunny running around, jumping off the top rope, slamming dudes in the WWE, the biggest artist in the world right now, doing wrestling moves, what is going through your mind?
I mean, he a smart motherfucker. Because my mentality is a lot of white kids don't know shit about Spanish music, but they know about wrestling. And when they see him wrestling, who's this guy, man? who's this guy? Because, like, it's very important. So he's open up to a new audience.
And it was inevitably put to Logan if he would fight Bad Bunny.
Who would win in a WWE match? You or Bad Bunny? You or Bad Bunny?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Stop.
What?
Bad Bunny is a global music superstar.
I think he'll slam you.
Stop, Mike. Stop. Yes, his entrance in Puerto Rican Backlash, that was one of the greatest entrances in WWE history. I don't know if you saw it, but
I saw it.
and he can wrestle. That guy can wrestle. But come on, this is my full-time job, bro. What are we saying, bro?
You never know. You gotta make that happen.
Imagine if they faced off, dude.
Come on,
that
bro.
happen.
Come on, bro. I wrestle wrestlers. I'm gonna put it like that, bro. I wrestle wrestlers.
Yo, but he was training for it.
Facts, bro. He does wrestle.
Okay. Triple H. Make it happen.
So whether Logan still had genuine beef with Bad Bunny was debatable. Whatever the case, this beef was mainly between Logan and Bad Bunny. Where Jake comes in starts in 2024 when the Logan brothers and Bad Bunny found themselves at the opposite ends of the political divide.
These events are doing fantastically.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you've done is incredible.
Yeah, I'm very blessed, and part of the reason that I believe I'm blessed is because of this country, and I think in a way I'm kind of living like the modern day American dream.
In 2024, Impulsive was one of the many podcasts Donald Trump used to cultivate a younger voting base. Logan could be categorized into the cohort of Trump supporters who felt that he was good for business and the economy, whereas Jake had a broader support for him on social issues like immigration.
I would also argue that Donald Trump is protecting women by not letting 15 million illegal immigrants through the borders. 662,566 have criminal histories, 13,000 convicted of homicide.
Bad Bunny, meanwhile, was not really publicly engaged. That is, until the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe told this joke at a Trump rally.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
And suddenly, Bad Bunny became more vocal for Kamala and specifically shared this clip.
I will never forget what Donald Trump did and what he did not do when Puerto Rico needed a caring and a competent leader. He abandoned the island, tried to block aid after back-to-back devastating hurricanes, and offered nothing more than paper towels and insults.
And Kamala Harris was very grateful for his support.
Very proud to have the support of folks like Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez and others who were supporting me before that nonsense last night at Madison Square Garden, and are supporting me because they understand that they want a president of the United States who's about uplifting the people and not berating, not calling America a garbage can, which is what Donald Trump, those are the words he has used.
Bad Bunny later said in his very limited English.
Because yeah, I can understand that it's a joke, but there's people that doesn't understand that it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
People who gonna agree with that joke and gonna say, yeah, it's Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? And people that gonna feel disrespect and hurt, like, what? So that's the part, like, is crazy.
So although words were not directly exchanged between Bad Bunny and the Paul brothers, they were now firmly on the opposite sides of the political fence in a very, very divisive election and would sow the seeds of what happened much later. In 2025, Bad Bunny had a song on his new album titled Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, or What Happened to Hawaii. Without singling out the Paul brothers, this song once again took aim at the gentrification of Puerto Rico. 2 lines from the song translate into English as, "They want to take my river and my beach too. They want my neighborhood and grandma to leave." Later that year, the wrestler Tiffany Stratton innocently asked about Logan's beef with Bad Bunny.
Played by
I heard you and Bad Bunny have heat.
Yeah.
Should I not bring that up?
No.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the bad blood between the Paul brothers and Bad Bunny seemed to revolve around Puerto Rico. However, in 2026, their differences extended to the shocking news from Minneapolis. At the 2026 Grammys, many celebrities used this platform to the recent ICE shootings, mainly Bad Bunny and Billie Eilish.
As grateful as I feel, I honestly don't feel like I need to say anything, but that no one is illegal on stolen land. And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry. Thank you so much. I can't believe this.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ICE out.
Interestingly, Jake Paul decided to take shots at Billie Eilish and wrote, "If you don't like ICE, then you can't call 911 when you're in trouble. If you don't respect law enforcement agents, then you shouldn't depend on them. When Billie Eilish gets her home broken into, it's not going to be F ICE. I can promise you that." At the Winter Olympics, the skier Hunter Hess also spoke out about ICE.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
And Jake similarly berated him on X and wrote, "Wow, please shut the F up. From all true Americans, if you don't want to represent this country, go live somewhere else." Bad Bunny had been scheduled to perform at the Super Bowl, and it was highly likely that he would also use this platform to criticize ICE. Before his performance, Logan was interviewed by Sky News Australia and made his feelings known about this upcoming performance.
Logan, are you excited for the halftime show? No.
And before the show, Jake tweeted, "Purposefully turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences, which equals viewership for them. You are their benefit. Realize you have power. Turn off this halftime. A fake American citizen," which is untrue because all people born in Puerto Rico are American citizens, can live anywhere in the 50 states if they choose to do so, "performing, who publicly hates America. I cannot support that." This received heavy backlash, and the Democrat Congresswoman AOC wrote, "A fake American citizen? Didn't you move to Puerto Rico to avoid paying your taxes while kids across America go hungry? Meanwhile, Benito actually funds low-income kids access to arts and sports programs while you defund them. Of course you're mad. He makes you look small." So this criticism from AOC might have been what Jake had expected. The bigger shock was that Jake was now being called out by his own brother, who seemingly before the Super Bowl halftime show was on the same page. Logan wrote, "I love my brother, but I don't agree with this. Puerto Ricans are Americans, and I'm happy they were given the opportunity to showcase the talent that comes from the island." To make matters worse for Jake, Amanda Serrano sent out a lengthy statement which read, "Tonight I am here where I'm supposed to be in my beautiful island with my people, celebrating and watching with awe how well Benito represented us and our culture. I am proud to be Puerto Rican, and I am proud to be an American citizen. Puerto Ricans are not fake Americans. We are citizens who have contributed to this country in every field, from military service to sports, business, science, and the arts, and our identity and citizenship deserve respect. I would not have the opportunities I have today without the support and belief that most valuable promotions and Jake Paul showed in me, and I will always be grateful for the role they've played in helping change my life and in elevating women's boxing. At the same time, I want to be clear. I do not agree with statements that question the legitimacy or identity of Puerto Rican people, and I cannot support that characterization. It is wrong. I fight with the pride of Puerto Rico and represent my flag every time I step into the ring. I will always stand with my people with respect for who we are and with pride in where we come from." What Jake did next could either be interpreted as a clarification, or it could have been his attempt to walk back on his earlier comments, probably from coaches, from people like Amanda Serrano, from his own brother Logan Paul, who didn't want to get dragged into this political divide. And he would write, The problem with my tweet is the word fake being misinterpreted. He's not a fake citizen, obviously, because he's Puerto Rican, and I love Puerto Rico and all Americans who support the country. More so, Bunny is fake because of his values and criticism of our great country. To clarify, I wasn't calling anyone a fake citizen because they're from Puerto Rico. I live in Puerto Rico, and I love Puerto Rico. I have used my platform to support Puerto Rico time and time again and will always do so. But if you're publicly criticizing ICE, who are doing their job, and openly hating on America, I'm going to speak on it. Period. That's the same reason I called out Hunter Hess. If you benefit from a country and the platform it gives you, but publicly disrespect it at the same time, that's what I mean by being a fake citizen. And I agree, love is more powerful than hate, which was the message that Benito Bad Bunny was spreading through his Super Bowl performance. Love America. So obviously, whether you believe them or not, largely depended on what your overall thoughts are on the Paul brothers. Many people have defended Logan's comments on Sky News and said that this was merely his wrestling persona.
Most people who are in the wrestling bubble believe it's clear Logan was just in character, and I mean realistically, the fact that he's caused this much of a storm off of 2 letters is kind of insane, but if you're outside the bubble, I can understand why you'd be quick to jump at the perceived hypocrisy.
However, Jake comes across as sincere in all of these tweets, and they're consistent across his behavior over years. The interesting thing is that Jake has been relatively friendly with the Flagrant podcast, but was still being called out.
It was so crazy. I thought he was trolling. Like, I was like, oh, Jake's working towards some fight with somebody.
I thought so also. And then if you go to his gram, he's doing a hard shift to the MAGA crowd. He's doing a real hard shift.
Interesting.
And so, hey, if that's what time you on, then how about that? That's it.
Well, he says if you're publicly criticizing ICE for just doing their jobs, then he's going to speak on it. So you might get clipped. You might get clipped.
You think he's coming for us?
Yeah, bro. You might get punched in the head.
So the beef between Bad Bunny and the Paul brothers taps into more sensitive issues facing the U.S. at the moment. A WWE fight between Logan and Bad Bunny is what many people are anticipating, and more likely what Logan is actually trying to conjure up attention for. And this even attaches to Logan Paul's recent back and forth with legend Tom Brady about his athleticism.
I'm told that I'm being flown out to Saudi Arabia to compete in a Fanatics flag football game with you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually a little worried for you because I know
Worried for me?
Well, you're a good athlete, but you're like
No.
These guys
Great.
are another level.
I am the highest level. I am the level.
No, you're not the level.
I am the level.
You're a good athlete, but honestly, when I'm thinking of Saquon Barkley and I'm thinking of like
Bro, can Saquon
Odell
Barkley
Beckham
do
Justin
a
Jefferson,
flip off the top rope?
Have you
a
not
180
seen him
moonsault
jump
off the top
over
rope
someone's
onto
head on
LA
the
Knight?
it's cute. It's a great, I love WWE. It's very cute. But honestly, this is like real football. This is real competition.
I was an all-state linebacker. I rushed for 1,200 yards, 19 touchdowns my senior year.
Well, let's see what you can still bring it. I mean, look, we all had a great pass. I won 7 Super Bowl. Who don't gives a You know what matters? This game, March 21st in Saudi. I'm glad you're going to be there, and I'm glad you're finally going to participate in like a competition that matters.
This guy's insane. The audacity of Tom Brady. I can't believe it. Wins 7 Super Bowls, thinks he can just go around and talk about his flag football game like it's going to be the Pro Bowl.
It's going to be way better than that.
But at the same time, this might run the risk of trivializing the incredibly serious matters that they disagree over. We're just going to have to see if this creates a bigger rift between Logan and Jake Paul, at least publicly, because while they are brothers, their brands are certainly not aligned, and their views, or at least publicly, are certainly not aligned on certain topics. And we have seen them have a very odd relationship, having gotten with each other's girlfriends at a point in time in the past, as well as having public beef dissing each other as well.